Boris Johnson has promised a smooth and sensible shift from fossil fuels to renewable power, but the PM has been criticised for his comments today, claiming that Margaret Thatcher had given the UK an early start in the fight against climate change when coal mines across the UK were closed in the 1980s. Well, let's get more on that with Sky's chief political correspondent, John Craig. So let me get this straight then, John. Boris Johnson's thesis is that Margaret Thatcher was an early advocate of action on the climate.
Well, some of her supporters have claimed this, that it's climate change warning was a forgotten legacy. She made a big speech at the United Nations in 1989 warning about climate change and global warming. In actual fact, it was because the Green Party had polled 15% of the votes in the European elections in 1989, really shocked the Tory party. Now, what the Prime Minister has said in a briefing to journalists up in Scotland, off-camera, print journalists. He said on the whole issue of wind power and getting away from fossil fuels, look at what we've done already. We've transitioned away from coal in my lifetime. Thanks to Margaret Thatcher, who closed so many coal mines across the country, we had a big early start. And we're now moving rapidly away from coal altogether. Now, it is claimed by those present that when he mentioned Margaret Thatcher closing the coal mines, he laughed and then said to the journalists, I thought that would get you going. Anyway, the laughter has outraged many politicians as much as the remark itself. Sir Keir Starmer has said on Twitter, Boris Johnson's shameful praising of Margaret Thatcher's closure of the coal mines, brushing off the devastating impact on those communities with a laugh, shows just how out of touch he is with working people. Nicola Sturgeon has accused him of being crass and insensitive. Now, most people, looking back at the 80s, would say, hold on a minute, it wasn't about the environment. It was about crushing the miners, about uneconomic pits. Do you remember she used that phrase, the enemy within? It was all about a battle with the unions. The environment wasn't mentioned at the time at all. So Boris Johnson, I think, has got this wrong. And he probably realised his claim is a bit ridiculous. The fact that he laughed and perhaps made things worse. Anyway, predictable row from the political opponents. The Tories will worry a bit more, though, about the impact of these remarks in those red wall constituencies, many of which were former mining communities where the Tories won seats at the last election. I wouldn't have thought they'd appreciate these comments.